Hello and welcome to the second of two videos on Out of the Blue by Simon Armitage. This video focuses on how Armitage uses language, structure and form effectively in the poem. And as before, you may want to have a copy of the poem in front of you to annotate. Firstly, how does Armitage use language and imagery? Let's start with the voice of the poem. The subject matter is extremely upsetting as Armitage gives a voice to an otherwise anonymous victim, small in the clouds at the top of the Twin Towers on 9/11. As you read, think, who are they talking to? And how do they feel? Are they talking to a loved one at home? Or, on another level, are they talking to all of us, the world, forced to sit by and watch the grainy images on television? A first-person dramatic monologue is a poem that comes from a particular character's point of view. It tells their story and expresses their feelings. The speaker uses an unusually simple vocabulary. In fact, at times, it sounds oddly childlike. It is also strangely composed, given the horrifying circumstances, and we can see this in the following lines. In a sense, the speaker seems partly resigned to their fate. Armitage also uses a number of significant active verbs. For example, twirling and turning are somewhat ironic given the circumstances, as are windmilling, wheeling, spiraling and falling. The vivid movement described through these words is sickening but disturbingly accurate. One of the most important images to me is when the man suggests that he is not shaking out crumbs or pegging out washing. Armitage perhaps uses this image to juxtapose the horror of 9/11 with some very everyday imagery. And of course, it's a reminder that the character is really shaking a shirt to try to save his life. Another image which is significant is that of the gills of the building. In this image, the building becomes almost an organic life form. As it dies, so too do its terrified inhabitants. So how does Armitage use structure and form in the poem? Well, firstly, he uses a very simple rhythm. There are usually either 2 or 4 stressed syllables per line, and he interrupts longer lines with shorter ones. This can emphasize a significant idea, but more importantly, it demonstrates the flagging mind and voice of the speaker as his thoughts shift and become interrupted. Have a look at the poem and see where else you can see this. The poem explores the final seconds of a man's life, and Armitage seems to stretch it agonizingly so that we experience every last moment. In doing this, he forces the reader to connect on a human level with the victim. The language also reflects both the speaker's perspective, high in the clouds, and also the way he appears to others. Have a look at the opening stanza again. Can you see how the words almost zoom in on the speaker, as if we are watching them from afar?